Morning, patron subscribers. We'll start at the Aussie USD weekly open. So we are currently below. We're negative. Above weekly open, target ATR long. It looks like the stop loss cluster is going to be safe because it's way up above there, unless the ATR target. So this is your, technical resistance. I don't think we're going to come up here. So they might be safe. We're probably going to raid these stops, but these probably might be all right. I was saying how on Friday we were going to pump up and take some stops above, but it looks like they might be safe. So, that's a weekly open. So that's our technical target. Sentimental target is all the way up there, but then we've really exceeded the ATR. So they're probably going to be safe, these guys. So we were going to go up and take their stops, weren't we? If you remember, I was saying on Friday, one below is at 66.88, and there's your target for shorts. Okay, so 94 pips, and well, it should be the same, shouldn't it? Yeah, 97, 98 ish. Yeah, 97, 98. So might be rounding a little bit. Can you see how he's kind of going sideways? So it might be doing this, might be doing a rounding effect potentially, and if so, then rounding effect here. So weekly open to ATR target long, but I think these are going to be safe. The SLC is very close, so 66.90. It's 28 pips away, so it might be wanting to get that, and then look for a long above, or you could look to short and target the SLC with a stop there, which is quite tight. So that's a scenario. Try and target the SLC. That one's going to be safe, and then these are your technical targets. So look at gold, because I forgot to look on Friday. So we got some buy-in actually. Maybe I might remove these boxes. Rectangle, delete, and then rectangle, delete. Okay, so we can add some new boxes, can't we? The ones that are of note. So we've got buy-in here, back-to-back buy-in. So there's one here. So we can SLC 1816. From an SLC perspective, ideally we'd want the stops to be higher, but that's possible. It might just hit that and we might be back in the box again. So that's what might happen. And the one below is at 1800, dead on the round number. And we're going to have an interchange. The profitable traders are going to overtake, the buyers are going to overtake the sellers. So I don't know what's going to happen here. If the stop was up here, then yeah, we'd probably come up and raid it. Then we'll come down to use the box as a support to take the SLC above. There's your ATR target long, 1840, and below is 1784. So a big move, potentially, but this is possibly going to be an important box because of this institutional buy-in. I'll take these guys off actually, just to look. Yeah, we are selling, so that in itself is quite bullish, and that we're going to get interchange here. It's just a shame the stop loss cluster is so close. If it was up here, then I think this might be a good buy, where your stop could be here, 1808, and then we could pump to target ATR target long. So fairly bullish if we look at the dynamic, the interchange of the profitable traders, and the bullish institutional volumes. The big boys and their big pockets, they've stepped in. They stepped in here as well. So we're looking at red for buys and white for sells. So we had a sell block here. So that might be resistance, 1824. So yeah, 1816 to 1824. Still not a bad move, to be honest. You're looking for resistance up here potentially, based on that low. We're mapping that white candle low, so that might be resistance 1824. Yeah, it's just a shame about the SLC. If it was higher up, it might be a good long. I might even look to trade it, but I think right now the SLC is too close, so ideally we want it much higher. So it's not worth entering now in order to get a $3 move. It's not worth doing really. And it's not 1-to-1 R. No, it's not even a 1-to-1. It's less than 1 R, so it's not worth entering now. better to enter later. Might be better for an interchange, and it could even be better for this to come down a little bit more as well. Therefore, then they'll be trapped. This is a potential trap. If this continues lower, these guys are going to get burnt down here. So probably bullish because of those things that we're looking at. And you know, we can maybe go up to 1840. But we've got 1824 as a resistance. Let's look at EU. We're coming up to the end of the month. We've got the new pivots. There's March's pivot there. Okay, so remember we need to look at that tomorrow. EU. There's March's pivot there. So we're gonna be below March's pivot. 107.05. It's miles away. So because we're going to be below, it's going to be fairly bearish for the EU. We are a sell at the big picture. We're 67% long. I wonder what they're doing on that average line. It's fairly sideways, isn't it? They are selling it ever so slightly. One below 105.25. One above is at 107.06. So we've got weekly open. That could be a nice trade where you target ATR long using support 1. The monthly support 1 is a really good, strong level. That's a 67 pip move. 10 pip stop. 60 pips. So you're looking for a 6R trade. You know, you could have a stop there even. 105.74. And then up we come. So I don't know if we've got the... I don't know if I've done that. Oh yeah, that could be good. So we're using that as a stop loss. And we're using monthly support 1. So you can get a 5R trade. Target 106.37 with a stop at 105.77. This is how I would do it, using the monthly support as your bounce, and then having that low as an SL. And you can get a decent 5R trade there. So could be a good one. Ideally this comes down a little bit more. Pound, and then we'll look at dollar Swiss, dollar yen. Pound, monthly support 1, which is of note. One above is at 119.79 and 119.20. The data from the UK has been quite good. So it's got some fundamental backdrop to it, and we've got weekly open as well. So it's probably not worth entering now because the stop loss cluster is so close. Yeah, it's not worth doing. It's 16 pips, so you'd want to wait now, and ideally you'd want their stops higher up so you can target that stop. But you see how they're quite close, and you've got your weekly open and monthly support levels. So assuming that those two hold, it's quite bullish. And dollar Swiss. And wow, what a move. It's crazy. Weekly open. So that's not too bad. It's a 34 pip move. Where are we exactly? Let's go here. Yeah, it's a 35 pip move-ish to SLC. Weekly open, to a target long. So I think we'll probably come up here. And then potentially we've got resistance 1 as well. So maybe there. Below that, then it would be quite bearish. Then that's probably going to be a decent support. Your monthly resistance 1, and so probably up, bounce, and then we're just going to just chop. I think up, down, up, and then we might just consolidate towards the end of the month. There's your pivot. March's pivot. Where are you? There. So it's slightly higher than February's pivot. You see. Lastly, dollar yen. Now this has been an absolute beast. So March's pivot is going to be really high. Oh no, there. Okay, so we're much higher than we were. There's March's 133.59. One below is fairly close, 135.95. One above is at 136.59. And remember what I was saying about the yields as well. This tracks the 10-year yield very well. So you'd want to keep an eye on your trading view. And ideally you want that red, right? If you're selling dollar yen, you want that negative, which it is currently, but it's obviously subject to change. And then that's that. So that gives a bit of a headwind. If the 10-year is negative, then it's going to put a bit of pressure on this. So 136.60 and then 135.95. Yeah, it's difficult to say because it's so close. If the stop was down here, then we could probably target the stop loss cluster. But weekly open to ATR target shorts, very far, 182 pips. And then potentially weekly open to ATR target long, which is your monthly resistance too. But I think we're only going to come up if the yields pump. And currently we are just negative there. The short dated yields are positive, but the 10-year, which tracks the dollar yen very well, we are negative. So it's tricky, but just remember to keep an eye on the big picture. This is like a macro thing you need to keep an eye on. And our trade of the day is going poorly, so probably better idea to shorts in this resistance box, I think. And so it's a good thing that we're just monitoring this. I didn't really trust it because we've got to be careful when the bubble's on its own, and we've got to be careful when the bubble is on its own down there as well. Might see a little reversal potentially. So that's today's video. I'll be back later and I'll go do some more house hunting today, and we'll see what happens there. Have a good day. I'll speak to you guys soon.